Hello and welcome to the Anxious Knitter podcast. My name is Joy and I am the Anxious Knitter. I'm so anxious that now that I have a kid, my worst case scenario meter is at nuclear levels. But I actually think that that might be normal. Anyway, you're here for episode 32, if I'm not mistaken, of the Anxious Knitter podcast. Like I said, my name is Joy, and I'm coming to you from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, where I live with my husband Luke, our dog Opie, and our baby Thomason. Yep, that's right, guys. That's why I've been gone for over a year. Oh my word. I'm really sorry about that. And this feels really weird. I'm also using a new camera, so bear with me if my eyes keep darting. Anyway, if you are a returning viewer, wow, thank you for still being here. That's pretty amazing. And I was about to say remarkable, but then I changed it to amazing, so it was amazing. And if you are a new viewer just stumbling on my little corner of the internet for the first time, welcome. I hope you find something interesting and that you like. So yeah, it's been a minute. It's a whole new year. And I did not intend to be gone for this long, and I will talk about that a little bit, but it is good to be back, theoretically, as long as this video works. If you've watched past episodes of mine, you will know I am technologically cursed, but what can you do? Hopefully our new camcorder will solve that problem. But yeah, so I also missed the part where I say that this is a knitting podcast, but I will also sometimes talk about crochet, sewing, and whatever other crafty thing catches my fancy at the moment. This is all out of order, and I apologize, but it's been a long time, like I said. So yeah, a lot of stuff has happened since the last time we talked. I have not rewatched the episode, so I honestly do not remember what the last thing was that I talked about. I do know that I did not even get a chance to announce my pregnancy. But yeah, so that has since come and gone, and I now have a baby, and she is a little girl named Thomason Bronte, and yeah, she's 3 months old, 14 weeks today, and that went really, really quickly, actually. But yeah, so much has happened other than that. Like, Luke and I vended with Cabinet of Curios at KW Knitters Fair last year, and that was awesome. I got to meet so many people at that event, which was so much fun, and I was in my first trimester at the time, so I felt kind of awful, if I'm being totally honest, but emotionally, it was great. And then at Rhinebeck, it was just coming out of my first trimester, I think. Yeah, because I announced on Halloween. That's on Instagram, if you follow me there. If you don't follow me there, then you probably had no idea, which is cool. But yeah, Rhinebeck was flippin' awesome. That was an event that I honestly never thought that I would get to go to. I used to like obsessively watch vlogs for Rhinebeck and think, oh, that would be so much fun, oh, I'll never get to go there. And then we went, we drove, Luke and I drove, we stayed at a great little Airbnb. It was so cute. It was like attached to this woman's like art studio, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. We climbed a mountain, which I hated every second of, but I did it. I did it so that one day I could tell my daughter that I climbed a mountain while I was growing her. I don't know why that matters. I did National Novel Writing Month again and won, so that was cool. Also, I will talk more about Rhinebeck later, probably. I mean, should I just talk about it now? I don't know. It was great. I mean, I got to meet people, like, it's so weird to be talking about it now because, like, people are getting ready for 2019 Rhinebeck, and I'm just here going, oh yeah, I went to Rhinebeck almost a full year ago. Let's talk about it. But I'm going to talk about it. Because it was great, and I want to share my experience because I never got a chance to last year. So yeah, I met so many amazing people, viewers of the podcast, podcasters that that I admire, like The Gentle Knitter, Tiny Paper Foxes. I got to hang out with Debbie of The Loving Path. Sorry, I'm fidgeting. I'm gonna try not to do that. Lorelei Erdo. So many people. It was incredible. Like, and people that I just like, people that I know through the internet, but like never thought that I would get to see in person. I got to hug them. How cool is that? And there was just so much yarn, and I have basically, well, no, I have knit with some of it, but I still haven't knit with much of it because pregnancy and newbornness totally sucked me dry of knitting mojo, but it's coming back now. So yeah, I actually had filmed a whole episode in December before the holidays where I was showing you, I was announcing the pregnancy, and I was showing all the stuff that I had been making for the baby, and then this is gonna get real. Sorry guys, if you didn't want to hear about this, but I mean, this is my life, so whatever. I will get to knitting content in probably like 10 minutes. Oh my gosh, I didn't do a dweeb story. Honestly, my whole life these days is a dweeb story. It's just a series of wearing things inside out and saying stupid things. Anyway, so I filmed this episode and I was so excited about it, and then like I turned off the camera, and minutes after that I get a call from my midwife saying that there was something weird on our 20-week scan with the baby's eyes. We also did not find out whether it was a boy or girl before. We wanted the surprise, so I mean, there was a lot of surprises. Anyway, so she said that we had to go to this other hospital that's like an hour away to get this other scan to try and figure out what's wrong, but everything else was looking good. It's just like the eyes were too small and wide set, and this was like right before Christmas, and we got our appointment date on Christmas Eve and had our appointment on New Year's Eve, and it was really terrible, okay? Like, let me tell you a thing, okay? Because we spent the entire Christmas holiday just worried to the point of sickness. Luke and I went out for Chinese food that day, I think, that we got the call, and I started crying because, oh well, here's a true story. I started crying because the chicken ball on my plate was too big for me to pick up with the chopsticks, and like, I didn't even want to talk about the baby. I didn't want to, I just wanted to pretend there was no baby until we went and got this other scan done. So we did go and get this other scan done, and it was really weird. Like, they just left me after the scan in this dark room for like half an hour by myself in silence, and then I had to go talk to a genetic counselor, and the genetic counselor was terrible, and like, I don't know, she said some like really rude things to my mom, because I had my mom as well as Luke there, because I just knew that Luke and I were not going to be in a great mindset for, you know, processing information, so we wanted to have my mom there to kind of take in what we couldn't at the time. And the genetic counselor said that, yeah, the eyes do look small and wide set, and it looked, and like they flagged that she might have an extra digit on her hand, but that could also have just been the umbilical cord in front of her face. And I don't know if anyone cares about all these details, but whatever. I'm gonna say it anyway, it's cathartic. But she said that most likely everything was fine, but there was no way for us to determine if it would be fine. So basically, I spent the next 20 weeks terrified and kind of pretending to be excited, but actually being just worried sick, because of course you want your baby to be healthy, and beyond that, we just wish that we had an answer one way or the other so that we could, you know, proceed with making plans. Like, if something, like if our baby was going to be born with vision impairment, like, that's something I would love to be reading about and planning for and whatever. But anyway, long story short, I went into labor 2 weeks after my due date, which was actually ironically her original due date before they moved it on May, so she ended up being born on May 3rd after like 30 some odd hours of horrible labor. It was the worst ever, okay? It was the worst. And then I still ended up having to have an emergency C-section. So great. Love recovering from surgery and a fourth floor walk up. So fun. But whatever, she's here and she is totally healthy and nothing was wrong with her eyes at all, and there was no extra finger either. So we worried for nothing. She's perfect. I don't know if you can hear her whining in the bedroom. I will bring her out later. But anyway, yeah. So that's part of the reason why I didn't record. I wasn't knitting very much, and I wasn't enjoying a lot of stuff, honestly. Like, what I kind of put aside a lot of things, and I started painting instead. Again, if you don't know, art was my first passion. And then I kind of fell away from it for quite a while. And then I kind of came back and I left again, and now I'm like really feeling it. I, after 15 years, upgraded my watercolors to professional quality. But wow, yeah, I've been painting with the same student quality tubes since I was 14. And I started working in acrylics as well. Oh, here, look. Oh, I have one in progress right here. Wow, so original in concept, skulls and flowers. Has anyone ever done that before? Whatever, I love it. I don't care. But I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, and basically, I'm gonna get into the knitting content now. And if things pop up in my head, I will just start talking about them. I hope you guys don't mind that I'm just kind of flying by the seat of my pants here. I do have show notes, but you know, a lot has happened. I'll probably remember things as we go. Yeah, so I picked and chose a few projects to show you, like a few FOs and a few whips. I'm not showing you everything that I've been working on just because like I have a lot of shawl projects on the needles that have had to be put aside for practical reasons. You know, they're lace and they have hundreds of stitches, and when you have a 3-month-old who flips like not personalities, but flips like moods in 3 seconds flat, you don't want to be working on a lace chart for 300 stitches. So I've put those aside, and I'm just kind of showing the stuff that I'm more actively working on right now. And yeah, so got some baby makes, some non-baby makes. I have all the acquisitions from the past year, which is actually not that much. Like, I haven't bought a ton of yarn. So I'll have my Rhinebeck stuff. I will have some of my KW Knitter stuff and some Christmas presents and stuff, just to show you stuff that I have received. All right? All right. So without further ado, let's start with finished objects. That's new. Okay, so let's start with a knitting project. This is like the only finished object I think I've had, like knitting wise, in a very long time. This is the Oslo hat by Petite Knit, which is a hat I had been dying to knit forever. I knit it out of Holskarn in their Noble base, which is their Geelong wool and cashmere base, and I love it. in the Rococo colorway. I don't know how well it's gonna show up, but it's like a golden yellow. I feel like it's coming up more camely on camera, but we'll see how it actually looks on my computer screen. Oh, I see, okay. Sorry, I'm figuring this camera out. I'm probably gonna have to stop in 20 minutes to empty the card. But anyway, so this is the Oslo hat. It's knit fingering weight, held double. And I had been really wanting to wear it, knit it, because I thought it looked so cool. I don't know that it looks as cool on me as I thought that it would, but it is what it is. It's pretty cool. It looks great on Luke. I want to knit one in another color for him, but I thought this would be nice for, you know, Canadian fall, Canadian winter, because of the like quadruple brim situation and it being flippity dippity cold here. But yeah, so there it is, slouchy. I kind of wish I'd knit a size up, but that's okay. It's fine with my super short hair. But yeah, so it's like you knit, it's like all stockinette, first of all, and then you knit it like super long, then you fold it and then fold it again. And then I didn't do, I can't remember if this was in the pattern or not, but like I didn't do the whole thing where you have like the 2 sets of needles to do the folded brim. I just would have stitched it close, I'm pretty sure, because I'm lazy and don't have that many spare needles. But yeah, so that's the Oslo hat by Petite Knit. And I love this yarn. I really want to knit myself a sweater in this color and in this yarn. And again, that's Holskarn Noble Base in the Rococo colorway. I have talked about Holskarn before, but like honestly, if I could only knit with one brand of yarn for the rest of my life, and I mean like, and I had to pay out of pocket for that yarn, I would pick Holskarn, because they have all the blends basically that you could need and so many colors, and they're really, really affordable, guys. Like if you see these patterns knit in like Brooklyn Tweed Loft and you love the way that it looks, but you just can't afford it, because I know that I can't, Holskarn is a great alternative. It is really nice to wear. It's so lightweight and so inexpensive. Like if you're in the States, you can get a sweater's quantity for like 25 to 40 bucks, which is like sometimes less than what you'd spend for a sweater from the store. So there's that. Okay, so my next 3 projects are crochet. So when it comes to baby stuff, I actually have had basically no desire to knit stuff, and the stuff that I did knit, aka the like cutest little baby socks I knit, never fit her, so whatever. But I guess especially, and I'm realizing now that I still don't want to knit baby stuff yet, because she grows so quickly and like it's so time consuming to knit these things for them to grow out of them after they wear it like twice. So I thought I'm gonna crochet toys instead. So I did, let's start with my penguin. So this is my baby penguin, and it's just knit with like acrylic. I think the fuzzy one is that Scarfy by Lion Brand, and then I took a dog brush and I fluffed it up. I did little felt eyes, so because I wanted it to be safe. I knit him or her a little scarf. This was my first time doing like crochet like in the round with 2 colors, and I don't think I did a very good job. And like honestly guys, if I crocheted this again, which I would just do the whole head black. I don't think that this gray back of the head really adds anything to the design. I don't think anyone would question it. But it was a very simple little knit. I knit Crochet Project. It's so cute and soft and like roly-poly. This is by One Dog Woof. It's a free pattern on the blog. Oh, and I did little rosy cheeks if you didn't see. I thought that was cute. And then this was actually the first one I did. This is the Cuddle Me Elephant from Amigurumi Today, which is also a free pattern. So I knit this in like Bernat Handicrafter cotton. It turned out quite large. I don't think I crocheted at a tight enough gauge, so it's got some gapping, but I don't think it's a bad size. Like, and it came out to be like a nice size, you can see. And she's so cute, and I just used a little bit of ribbon. Do you know, most of the ribbons I use on the stuffed toys that I make are those like the little hanging ribbons inside of shirts. I cut them off and I save them, and then they tie around little dolly necks. So yeah, that was the first one, and I just absolutely fell in love. Amigurumi is so fun. I can't do it right now because I've gotten like really, really bad wrist pain since she was born, but there we go. And then from the same series, I did the Cuddle Me Teddy Bear, and this I did in the Karen Super Soft in like a tweed, and it turned out much smaller, which I was a little bit bummed about. Like, I wanted them to be kind of the same, but they're clearly not, but it's fine. It was cute. I like how the little embroidered nose turned out. So right now these guys just sit on her dresser because she's not really playing with them yet. And then I sewed this little bunny, which is one of the Dear Ones patterns by O Albatross, and I sewed the main fuzzy fabric is a 100% cashmere sweater that I thrifted and felted, and then this is just some quilting cotton that I used on one of her baby quilts, which I'll talk about in a second. But I just thought this turned out really, really sweet, and I want to make another one, but I want to adapt it to be like a little wolf. I have a gray felted sweater I want to use for that. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. And then quilts, we did 2 quilts. So the first one is pretty big. It's just a patch, it's just a block quilt. I used the layer cake, so 10-inch squares, and it's a Peter Pan. I know Danny from Little Bobbins also has a quilt for her little boy using some of this fabric. I think she only uses 1 or 2 of them. I got the pack of the layer cake. How do I show this? It's pretty big. Yeah, we tried a new quilting pattern. I don't know if you can see it. They're like diamonds. And I think it turned out really nice. I love Peter Pan. And I loved this. I bought this before we were even pregnant. I thought even if we don't end up having kids, I was like, I want a quilt made out of this fabric. So there it is. Yeah, it's big. And then I just used this like, oops, sorry guys. I don't know if you see that. Just a floral on the inside. And my thought with this was that, you know, it's a fabric based on a book. I thought, oh, like this can be the book quilt, the reading quilt that we curl up under and read books when she's a little bit older. But I also wanted to make like a more baby-sized quilt, but I didn't. And I also want to point out, like, I pieced the top and I basted the quilt. Luke did most of it. Luke quilted the quilt, and then I did the binding on it. That's usually how we do these things. So anyway, I wanted to make her a baby-sized quilt, but I was really sick of piecing together squares. And there was this fabric that I just loved, and I was so excited because the Creepy Craft store in town had it. So what I did is I made this whole cloth quilt. And it's, I think, the Hushabye Hollow fabric. And I hand quilted this, actually. So this was my first time hand quilting, and I don't know if you'll be able to see. I quilted 3 different size stars all over it. And then I used that green to bind it, and then this gray and white pinstripe on the back. And I loved this project so much. Like, I really, really loved working on it. I loved hand quilting. I got this cool leather thimble. It was like my on-the-go project. Like, when I was not knitting, like, like, because I wasn't interested in knitting, I was quilting, and I really loved it. And I did end up, like, I hand washed it, but I didn't like the way it felt, so I put it in the machine and it was fine. I don't know. But yeah, I had a really good time with this. She's not used it so much yet because my baby spits up constantly, and I did not want to have to be washing this every week. So it'll be for when she's probably a little bit older and she can use it as a playmat and stuff like that. Yeah, so that's all the finished objects that I wanted to show. Yeah, that was it. Oh, actually there's one more thing, but I have to go get it because I forgot. Ow! Okay. Wow. Okay, I love this rocking chair very much, but wow, I just cracked my ankle on it. So this is actually Luke's finished object. He wanted me to show it, and rightfully so. I'm not going to dig out the other one, but if you really want to see it, I have posted a picture of it on Instagram. But this is the baby sunbonnet from Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern. And yeah, Luke sewed this little bonnet out of some of our scraps. You may recognize this from our shop. He used a cream on the inside, and then this cute bee fabric, and we didn't have enough of the bee fabric for the strap, so we just used the cream, and I think it looks really nice. I mean, you don't see much of it anyway. But yeah, she looks really, really cute in them. Maybe I'll pop up a picture if I remember. But yeah, so that is Luke's finished object. Okay. Alright, so let's move on to works in progress. I totally forgot what they're called. So I've only picked 3 works in progress to show you. These are the ones that I worked on in the last couple months, so that's what I'm going with. This is the first project, which is in this new sweater bag that Luke made for me with the drawstring. I have a skirt. He sewed me a skirt out of this fabric. But yeah, little ghosties. This is the Albini cardigan by Orlan Sush. I don't know how to say her name. But yeah, it's just a simple top-down cardigan. I'm using Green Mountain Spinnery. The music base, maybe? I'll know for sure when I get to acquisitions, because I will have skeins of that to actually show you. It's a rusty color. Again, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it on the screen if I remember. But yeah, I'm on the body right now, making my way. Oh, I think I already, yeah, I put the pockets. This will be my first time knitting pockets. So I've put those on hold, and I'm just knitting the rest of the body. And yeah, so this is like my first time properly knitting this kind of cardigan. I have a still water on the needles that I will probably be tearing out because I've just completely lost interest, and honestly I don't think that cardigan will fit me anymore. This one will definitely fit me. I have never used Green Mountain Spinnery before, but I love it. This was one of the yarns that I absolutely wanted to buy at Rhinebeck. And it was like, I made a run for it. I was going to get a forest green color, but there was another lady there who grabbed a sweater's quantity before I had a chance, which is fine because I have plenty of green sweaters. But I haven't knit something this color. So yeah, I haven't decided if I'm going to do the lateral braid detail or the split hem detail on this cardigan, or if I'm just going to keep it like super vanilla. We'll see when I get there. But I really enjoyed working on this. I did take kind of a break on it just because, again, it's a lot of stitches and you're knitting flat, so you can't just like stop in the middle of a round kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's a woolen spun, which is like my first time. Uh-oh, someone might be getting hungry. Okay, not me, my baby, if you can't hear her crying. But yeah, so it's like tweedy, and I really, really like it. And I'm looking forward to having that, hopefully for this winter. My next project is a Penguono! Yes, I've been wanting to cast one of these on forever. And I finally have done it. This was actually my Christmas Eve cast on. I cast this on because I wanted something when we were in the middle of all that drama with the baby. Sorry, my needles. I wanted something just for me that was just fun, that was gonna make me happy, and it has made me happy. I have gotten quite a bit done. I've gotten like almost this whole side done. There we go. You can see there's the shoulder, the sleeve. I still have to obviously attach the bottom of the sleeve still, and then I've still got that whole other side to do. A lot of this is my own hand-dyed yarn. A lot of this is scraps. It's huge. I wanted it to be big. What else can I say? I have really loved knitting it. I will say it's pretty ugly in terms of colors. I don't think anyone would be like, wow, what a cohesive color palette, but that's fine. I kind of like that. I would like to eventually knit another one that is a more cohesive palette, and whatever, but it's fine. I was able to use some of my first hand spun. Well, I'm gonna have to empty this card soon. And yeah, I've also bought the Penguino pattern for Thomason. That one I'm gonna knit like the 1 to 2 year size, I think, so she'll be able to grow into it, and hopefully wear it for 1 or 2 years. And that will have a more cohesive color palette, and I'm actually very excited to knit that for her. I'm hoping, if I can, to get that knit in time for the KW Knitters Fair this year. Luke and I will not be vending, but we will be attending with her, so it would be cool to have a little thing for her. And I'm just going to pause this video so that I can empty the card. BRB. I'm back. Would you believe that my SD card malfunctions? Brand new SD card, brand new camcorder. I don't know, does anyone actually say that anymore? Video camera. And I still am cursed. Whatever. Anyway, I have one more work in progress to show you. And it is another sweater. I didn't mean for it to only be sweaters, but like, what can I say? I'm here for the sweaters. Let me just make sure I don't drop any stitches. So I really wanted a project that was going to be simple, that was something I really wanted to knit for myself, and that project was the Novelli Tee by Caitlin Hunter. So that is what this is. Oh, it looks so much brighter on camera than it does in real life. Yeah, so I have, as you can see, finished the color work, and I'm on to just the stockinette in the round. Yeah, again, like I said with the Albany or Albini, it's a great project, super like simple and easy, but again, knit flat. I know a lot of this is knit flat too, but it'll be less stitches in general. So I wanted something where I could like stop in the middle and it would be fine.